Diddy's empire is collapsing beneath his feet. And even though I think that Diddy was eventually going to have to answer for his sins one day, even though I think Diddy would eventually take the fall somehow, some way, there's no doubt about it that his ex Cassie has, let's just say, expedited this process. People have talked and joked about Diddy and how he acts. They've joked about his parties for years. But it wasn't until Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy that the heat really got turned on. And this lawsuit put Diddy between a rock and a hard place. Because if you draw out this lawsuit, if you fight Cassie in court, all of your deep, dark secrets are going to be put right out there on Front Street. But if you settle and you pay Cassie off to be quiet, now you're inviting other people, right? You're attracting the wolves. Now everyone's going to come forward with an allegation and a lawsuit. But Diddy simply could not have all of that information that Cassie has being put on Front Street because Cassie knows everything, okay? Diddy wouldn't have pulled a lot of this stuff off if it wasn't for Cassie. It wasn't always Diddy necessarily going out here and recruiting people, finding young women and finding young men. Often he would send Cassie. But after Diddy settled his lawsuit with Cassie, other lawsuits came out against him. And let me tell you this. Cassie figured out a way to have her cake and eat it too. If this was a game of chess, Cassie already has the checkmate. She filed the lawsuit against Diddy. He settled out of court. And I'm assuming she made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Okay? She got paid off to the point where she won't have to worry about anything for the rest of her life. Her kids, maybe even her kids probably won't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? If they manage this money right, her family will be good for generations. But not just that. Not just that. After Cassie gets this money, what does Cassie do? She turns around and she starts working with the feds to take down Diddy. So she successfully got Diddy to hand her a bunch of money. And then she turned around and now she's cooperating with the feds to take Diddy down with legal charges. So it's like, hey, I got my money and I also get to take you down. Ruin everything you ever built. We're going to take your life from under you. So, I mean, Cassie really played it smart. Diddy has been defeated. Diddy's kingdom came crashing down. We could say it's because of his actions, right? Because Diddy's done a lot of things over the years, but in the long run, Cassie is what took Diddy down. But we'll go into that a little bit more further in just a second. I want to go ahead and roll this news clip because they're talking about this topic as well, and they provide a little bit more information about what's going on here. But after this clip, I'll be right back with more stuff.
Investigators apparently have secured a key witness against Sean Diddy Combs. TMZ reports the rapper's ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie, is cooperating in this sex trafficking probe. Now, she was the first person to come forward with allegations of abuse, which Diddy continues to deny. But the rapper continues to lay low, went for a bike ride in Miami, but he was spotted riding that bike yesterday, saying hello to fans along the way. Apparently, he was out for about 45 minutes and a lot of pictures along the way. Todd Pyro, the co-anchor of Fox and Friends First, also a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to you.
Morning.
You say the point off the top that needs to be remembered here is that no charges have been filed. Okay,
correct.
Take that on its face. What comes next then?
Well, that obviously is the big question. And on this Cassie stuff, people are wondering, well, she settled. Didn't she have a non-disclosure agreement? We have to remember, non-disclosure agreements are for things that are untoward, not for serious crimes like the allegations of sex trafficking. Sex trafficking isn't just untoward. It's a heinous crime that you cannot disclaim in a non-disclosure. So that's why she's able to talk to the feds. So what's happening right now? They want an airtight case because you're not going up against Todd Pyro with no resources. You're going up against Diddy. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars to defend himself. They need to make sure that this case is as airtight as possible. And as well, Bill, you have to remember, a lot of the characters that you would be putting on the stand in a case like this, let's not say they're probably not the Harlem Boys choir. They themselves have credibility issues. So you want to make sure every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and then you get the full range of every possible witness you can get into that complaint. Because right now, it does look bad for Diddy, but you have to make sure if you're the feds that is airtight.
So to that point, celebrity reaction to the mansion raids. Okay, so 50 Cent said they don't come like that unless they got a case. And then this one from Aubrey O'Day. Respectfully, I've been telling y'all this for 2 decades, and did anyone listen? No. And then Suge Knight says he's got a warning. I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret room you guys are participating in?
To me, the Suge Knight comment highlights what I think is the biggest unanswered question in this case. How far does this extend? Are we talking Epstein level? Are we talking Weinstein level? Because there are unconfirmed reports that Diddy had cameras in his various rooms for his various parties. The thought process being, am I going to be able to get blackmail against individuals that come to these parties? You're doing that not for, again, the Todd Pyros of the world. You're doing that for real famous and very powerful people. So that's why Suge's comment is so fascinating. As for the other 2 comments, yes, Aubrey O'Day probably told a lot of people, but, you know, me telling you at a cocktail party is a lot different than speaking down under oath to the feds. And you have to realize that. That said, everybody seems to be singing right now. And so I think that's where they're going to get, the feds that is, the full range of witness testimony against
Okay, so you had Cassie filed, and it seemed, and then she settled the next day.
Right.
So that's out there. And you have 3 other women and a man who filed accusations. Are these accusations all the same? Are they similar?
They are similar. They obviously result from a different nexus of action. You know, there aren't necessarily the same event all 4 times by your count, but they all go for around the same thing. And so the question becomes, how credible are those 4, but how far does it extend? I think it extends way beyond the 4 if I'm sort of reading the tea leaves, but we won't know that until the feds finish their investigation. You have to think, though, if they are going in guns blazing, literally like they did at these mansions, they have to feel confident that they have a lot more than just these 4.
Some are saying that was over the top in all this video.
If I'm the defense, I absolutely play that angle. 1, it's off the top. 2, why did you coordinate with the media? You're tainting the jury pool by doing that. You're making my client guilty right off the bat. And then 3rd, the big defense thing is that credibility issue. If I'm the defense, I'm focused on those 3 things. At this point, until we know more and until charges are potentially filed.
Well, that's what question I know you guys want to go, but the time between the raid and an indictment, and from your experience as a lawyer, is this typical, usual, or a long time?
I mean, could be long, could be short. It was pretty short with regard to another mansion raid in South Florida.
Right.
I'll leave it at that. But it could be long. In this case, keep in mind that in the Trump case, there is a presidential election they're trying to speed up for. There's no rush in this Diddy case.
Yeah. I didn't hear this bit about cooperating with the media or coordinating with the media.
The media was there.
Who'd they coordinate with?
The media that was on scene, ready to go and film basically the invasion of Diddy's mansion.
Was that from the helicopter?
From all angles. You know, that doesn't happen. We get a lot of tips, but that's a big tip. And if you get that, you send your crews.
Like CNN did with Roger Stone.
100%.
I'm telling you, a lot of people, maybe even Diddy himself, they think that Diddy's going to get away with this because, oh, there's no charges yet. Diddy's not in jail yet. But like you just heard, they have no reason to rush this thing. In fact, they have every reason in the world to take their time. And the point I keep making on my other channel when I make videos about this topic is that they're not just coming for Diddy anymore. They're not just coming for Diddy. They're coming for dozens of other people, including some of Diddy's kids. I think they're working up a case against one of Diddy's sons right now as we speak because there's been a woman that has come forward with allegations against him as well. There's no telling what they have confiscated from Diddy's homes. I also wonder if there's a hesitancy here because who knows what Diddy may have on someone out there. You know, we know that Diddy had hidden cameras in all of his rooms. We know that Diddy had everyone from athletes to movie stars, politicians, past presidents, kings, queens, princesses, princes, you name it. They've all been to Diddy's parties. There's not many powerful people on this earth that Diddy did not have at least some sort of access to. So I'm wondering if right now they're playing their cards right to make sure that Diddy doesn't have a hard drive hidden somewhere on an island somewhere with compromising information on someone that they wouldn't want getting out there. So we could all look at this like, oh, Diddy's this freak. He's recording people having sex and doing this, but we don't know what Diddy has done to set up a defense for himself. I mean, if all of these allegations are true, right? And the feds want us to believe these allegations because this is why they're so-called taking Diddy down. So if these allegations are true, then it's not far-fetched to believe that Diddy could have compromising information on someone that is allowing him to walk away from this situation a free man, at least until this point. But for now, we're going to have to watch the situation play out. As I said earlier, it's now been revealed that Diddy's ex is working. Cassie, she's working with the feds, along with a few other people who were close to Diddy. So I'm sure some of them know his secrets. I'm sure they'll be very useful to help take Diddy down. But we're just going to have to watch this play out. And if you want me to be totally honest with you, I see a reality where we could be sitting here having this conversation 2 years from now and the investigation still be ongoing. I think that this is going to be a slow burn, and it might be an incredibly slow burn. Like a couple of years before you see charges filed. Because, like I said, they're trying to build, and as you've heard other people say, they're trying to not only build a solid case against Diddy, they're trying to build it against a lot of other people in his circle as well. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to donate to the channel, you could do so via CashApp or via Super Thanks. But make sure you ring the notification bell. And if you want to help this channel for free, you could do so by subscribing and sharing the video. But with that being said, always remember to remain opinionated.